Welcome back, subscriber Dynasty Recruiting. We got a few things to talk about. We're going to start out with seeing what we have to do in the recruiting. Probably not much. We have some points to put on defensive coordinator and the head coach, Mr. Bourbon, because he loves his bourbon. Don't confuse it with whiskey. There's a distinct difference. Anyway, let's go in here and check it out. Oh, and then there's a couple of comments on the last the recruiting video? Was there a visit somebody needed to visit? Scheduled visit. Ready for visit. All right. Let's go do let's do these visits real quick. Schedule a visit. You can do it for Kentucky because it's the last game of the year. And you can also go to Kentucky for the last game of the year. And the last man's going to go to Kentucky as well. Not go to Kentucky, but... Oh, well, I guess we're going to schedule him for a bye week. That's fine. But it's the same old people, and we're leading on like every single one of them. I think. We are. Did we end up getting that other guy? Wasn't there I think I missed it. Wasn't there we were battling it out with somebody? Which guy was that? Was it this guy? No. This guy. Who was it? I can't remember now. I wish I'd remembered for a while. Would have watched one of my old videos. I thought there was somebody we were going against. It was like one of the only guys that we were behind the whole time. Ah, shoot. Maybe we didn't end up getting him. I can't remember. I don't remember which guy it was. Let's go check the recruiting class. I don't think it's changed. I don't think we've got anybody, but we'll take a look at it anyway. No, we've actually gone down some. Whatever. But the comments were on the last subscriber Dynasty. I was thinking recruiting video, but I didn't have a recruiting video last time. But it was on the bye week deal. I get confused sometimes of what I do and don't do. All right, we got this one here. I don't want to do that, so I guess we're only really the place to put it at is on the instant commit. Because you only unlock a couple of people at a time anyway. But we'll go ahead and do this. Put this one here. But the one I'm interested in is this defensive coordinator one. And we are going to put it on this one without a question. That's what we need to put it on. We get a +4 in man coverage, +5 press for games. That's going to help out tremendously when we get to the games. Because all of our guys have pretty good man coverage, and that's going to bump a lot of people up into the high 90s for man coverage. This right here is very important, so you should try to get this as quick as possible. There was one year I won the national championship at Oklahoma State, I think it was, and we had like Les Miles as a defensive coordinator. Like the whole deal was filled in. That defense was badass, probably because all this stuff, like every single one of them was filled up. It was nasty defense. Anyhow, let's get out of here, and I want to talk about the comments on last episode. Alright, so on last video, there was a comment on there by, I think it's Derry Kuzo. Probably butchered that name, but anyway, he says, hey, can't you make Meyer bigger? He's a toothpick. Well, number one, yes, I can go in there and change his height and weight. And their, face mask and height, the appearance and that kind of stuff. You can't edit their stats. But I don't ever mess with that. One of the reasons is this. You see this guy here? 5'11", and who else? This guy here, 5'11", 5'9", Bass, 6 foot. If I edited the players, all these dudes would be like 6'4". Like, hands down, they'd be like the biggest, tallest secondary ever. They'd just be like a bunch of monsters out there running around because who wants a short corner? I'm not saying people that are short can't be, great corners because, a lot of the guys that are on our secondary are short, and there's guys in real life that are short, and they're excellent in secondary. I was trying to think of the free safety for the Seahawks. Earl Thomas, he's not necessarily a tall guy, but he's pretty badass for a secondary player. But I don't mess with it. If the guy's 5'11", then he's 5'11", or whatever height or weight, they come in at. And I understand that people, come in late to the series or, might watch videos out of order that they're put in there or played. Jeff Meyer was a free safety that I got last year, and I don't think it's going to show it here. It doesn't show all their stats. He would have never made it in our secondary. That zone coverage of 73, that doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. I think his man coverage was somewhere into mid to low 70s. That's not any person that's ever going to be in our secondary if I can help it. If once I get people recruited in, because I recruit for coverage and I don't care about the rest. But I knew that he would be a good linebacker because of his tackling and his, not his block shredding, but his pursuit and hit power and this acceleration, agility. He's just like an athlete, and his tackling's pretty good. You know, he's not much on the block shredding or finesse moves or anything like that. But I thought, wow, you know, to have a guy at 95 speed, and I didn't think he would start as a freshman in the defense, but I thought, you know, in 2 years, 3 years, let him sit, you know, maybe as like a sophomore red shirt, he's going to be, you know, an outside linebacker because Greenwood's still going to be there. Nobody's going to take or would take his place until he leaves because he's just a flat monster. But secondly, I wouldn't call him a toothpick. I mean, he's 6'3", 199 pounds, and with 95 speed, with him running right at me, I don't think I would want that. It would hurt really bad. But there is defensive ends that have been, they're getting thinner. If you look at the research and people that follow draft classes, linebackers have stayed about the same. Defensive tackles, you know, they stay about the same. But most of the time, you know, defensive players or defensive ends, they're getting thinner. You know, they're not, I mean, they're not, I will agree that he's undersized. I'm not undersized, underweight as a defensive end, because defensive ends are like 240, 230, right in that range, and he's about 20 pounds underweight. But with this, I don't know what 95 speed like equates to as far as like a 40-yard dash. Like, I don't know what that would be. And I got him there as a speed guy. You know, it's because of him and Vaughn, which Vaughn's little, you know, undersized too, 6'2", 209, but he's like a converted linebacker or something. He was playing linebacker last year. But I wanted speed guys to get to the quarterback, and I want to be able to rush with 3 or 4 and drop 9 into coverage. That's why sometimes the power football game gets us, because we're not set up like that. We're set up to stop the pass. But for the most part, you know, when you play users aren't setting up with 2 tight ends and just pounding the football. You know, they're running out of the spread, so that's how I gear the defense to combat people that are in the dynasty and how they play. Like, if this was real life, would he make it in the NFL being 199 pounds? You know, probably not. He'd have to really get on probably a weight regimen and get up there a little more. But strong safety or something? Yeah, probably. But we got bruisers. You know, that's what this guy is, McBride, 95. He's 6'6", 300 pounds. That's what we got him for. That's what we got. Well, this guy's not that big, but that's what he's doing a pretty good job. And that's what we got Greenwood for. You know, he's 6', 240. That's all we got those guys. What are our linebackers? Yeah, 6'4", 220. And 6'1", 242. With all that being said, though, I do appreciate all the comments that everybody puts on the videos. This is not a, you know, this is not a shots fired thing. This is just why I do the things that I do. If anybody has any questions about, you know, why I don't do something or why don't you do this, you know, the comment box is there for a reason. Almost 100% of the time, reply to every comment on all the videos that I put up, because I like hearing from you guys, and it's part of the reason why I put this stuff on here. You know, it'd be a lot easier for me just to play it and not put anything up, but it's more enjoyable for me to put the videos up and you know, hear different opinions from you guys. But anyways, we got Kentucky next week, last game of the regular season. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at the next game.